A woman who fell for a rental house scam was not about to be fooled again.
I told her that if she would not return my money to me, I was going to be calling the cops, and at that point she begged me not to.
New details on what police call a Craigslist scheme that ended with 5 families out thousands of dollars and the suspect busted. A Smoky Mountain destination that went up in flames gets a fresh start. Plans for the future Dancing Bear Lodge. The president is promising 2 years of community college free for millions of students. But teachers want to be included in that promise.
If you're not going to support the people that are doing the work, it seems a bit disingenuous.
And a Tennessee landmark is tapped a national treasure. The Night Beat starts now.
10 News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR TV, Channel 10, Knoxville. The news starts now.
Good evening and thank you for watching. I'm John Becker.
And I'm Robin Wilhoit. We are finally starting to see a break from the rain after a wet and dreary start to our week. Still parts of the viewing area, though, under a freezing rain advisory. Some schools will be on a 2-hour delay tomorrow.
We're seeing those temperatures drop. You can see at the bottom of your screen. And for more on the forecast, we'll talk to Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell, bring him into the conversation. And Todd, temperatures dropping, but at least the rain's going away for most folks.
Exactly, John and Robin. We're looking at most of the precipitation kind of moved out, but there's still that chance for a little bit of very light drizzle, maybe a light rain mix as we go through the overnight. Even some freezing drizzle, light freezing rain possible across parts of Kentucky, even Southwest Virginia and the Northern Plateau. So that's to start your morning. Could have a little bit of frozen precipitation, light freezing drizzle in northern areas, and then we'll have the rest of your Tuesday forecast just ahead. John and Robin.
Todd, thank you very much.
On Wednesday, a woman accused of swindling thousands of dollars from unsuspecting victims in a Craigslist rental scam, will appear in court.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office arrested Beth Joy Economos for multiple theft charges. Deputies say she promised 5 families they could rent a house in Seymour.
They all signed leases and gave her money for a home she did not own. WBIR 10 News reporter Steve Butera spoke with a victim who says she doesn't believe she will ever get her money back.
I told her that if she would not return my money to me, I was going to be calling the cops, and at that point she begged me not to.
Even after knowing she was scammed out of $1,000, but they don't believe they'll see all their money returned.
If it was 2 families, possibly, maybe she might have got something confused. With 5 families, there's no way.
Steve Butera, WBIR 10 News.
Economos will face a Blount County judge for her first hearing Wednesday afternoon.
The rubble from an historic building in downtown Harriman continues to smolder 5 days after a fire destroyed it. This was the scene at the Miller and Brewer building last Thursday. More than 60 firefighters battled that massive blaze in freezing temperatures. The flames eventually brought that building down, but it continues to smolder. This is a look at the scene tonight. Mayor Chris Mason says the city hopes to open 2 lanes of Highway 27, also called Roan Street, tomorrow. On Facebook, he said the adjacent buildings are too unstable and crews will have to tear them down before that road fully reopens. Mason said the city will host a meeting tomorrow night at 6 in the evening at City Hall so anyone can give their input about what they would like to see happen to the old buildings.
After a fire destroyed a popular East Tennessee tourist destination in November 2013, new owners are hoping to give new life to Townsend's Dancing Bear Lodge. They broke ground on Friday for the first phase, clearing away trees that were burned in the fire to make way for new additions. A new farm-to-table restaurant, meeting facility, and event space, and 4 new cabins will be finished by August. A main lodge is tentatively planned in the second phase.
We're humble enough to realize that if we can just emulate what they did, the previous owners, then we should be successful.
The new owners say they want to have at least 38 guest rooms on the property within 36 months. They hope to finish the first phase by August. The last phase includes integrating Apple Valley and the lodge into one unique destination.
On Friday in East Tennessee, President Obama said he wants to promise free community college tuition, but faculty members say that promise should include a raise for campus workers. At the state level, Governor Haslam's Tennessee promise does cut tuition costs for tens of thousands of students, but there are still some concerns.
WBIR 10 News reporter Heidi Wigdahl joins us. And Heidi, you spoke with a statewide union about this matter.
Yeah, that's correct, Robin and John. The group United Campus Workers questions how community colleges can handle the influx of students in the fall without extra funding from the state. An adjunct instructor tells me this is not a criticism of community colleges, it's a criticism of the funding.
President Obama's promise of providing 2 free years of community college to millions of Americans has people talking about higher education. But Kroll is not reaping the benefits.
The problem doesn't just hurt adjuncts, it hurts the students.
Just last year, 56,000 seniors applied. Now those students are meeting with volunteer mentors who will help prepare them to get into college. Governor Haslam's press secretary also told 10 News that teacher pay remains a priority. The governor's budget proposal for 2015 to 2016 has not been announced yet. Back to you.
Heidi, thank you.
As gas prices continue to fall across the country, Tennessee Senator Bob Corker and other lawmakers are reviving their push to raise the federal gas tax. Senator Corker and Democratic Senator Chris Murphy have proposed raising the tax by 12 cents over 2 years. Congress hasn't raised that tax in 21 years. Revenue from the tax has slipped as vehicles get more efficient, and transportation officials have had to put construction projects on hold because there's not enough money. Senator Corker and Senator Murphy now say is a good time to increase the tax while gas prices are low. Efforts to raise the Tennessee gas tax are also happening at the state level. That tax hasn't been raised since 1989. The gas tax could be an issue that comes up at the state capitol, which kicks off a new legislative session tomorrow. Several big issues are expected to come up this year, from new abortion restrictions to moving the date for wine in grocery stores. A new plan to expand insurance coverage to some 200,000 Tennesseans will also come up during a special session. That's in February. The 109th General Assembly will be another tough one for Democrats. Republicans hold a supermajority. Of the 33 state senators, only 5 are Democrats, and Democrats only hold 26 of the 99 seats in the House. The new session is set to start at noon tomorrow. We'll have coverage of that on 10 News and online at WBIR.com.
Lawmakers will also decide whether to approve a new tax break package for production of Volkswagen's new Cross Blue SUV in Chattanooga. Could pave the way for some 2,000 new jobs. Could also bring millions in new investments. The governor is pushing for the $300 million tax incentive package, but some Republicans are concerned about the progress the United Auto Workers have made at the Volkswagen plant. The incentive approval would be good news for Volkswagen, which is coming off a good sales year. The company sold more than 10 million vehicles just last year. That's a 4% increase.
A site rich with music history here in Tennessee will soon be getting some national help.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation added Nashville's Music Row to its National Treasure list of historically significant sites threatened by development. The nonprofit will work to draw attention to Music Row's cultural heritage. It made today's announcement at former RCA Studio A, which narrowly avoided demolition just last year. Elvis Presley, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, they all once recorded there.
The Supreme Court could decide to take up Tennessee's gay marriage lawsuit. We'll have the latest next.
Plus, cities around the globe increase security after the terror attacks in France, and police learned there may be more suspects in the case.
We'll give you money. Just bring my dog back, please.
A Canadian couple planned to celebrate Elvis's 80th birthday at Graceland. Instead, they're trying to track down the man who was captured on camera stealing their dog from the back seat.
And it has been a nasty rainy start to the work week, but good news on the horizon. Todd's going to fill us in next. A fire in the Washington, D.C. subway system tonight killed a woman, injured dozens of passengers who inhaled smoke.
This is a look inside the subway stop when it filled with smoke. 2 people are in critical condition and 80 others went to local hospitals. Firefighters say passengers were stuck on their train for more than 20 minutes as smoke built up in their car. The NTSB is investigating.
Police say as many as 6 terror cell suspects may still be at large after the Paris attacks. French police say they are looking for the suspects. One may even be driving a car belonging to one of the attackers who died last week. France has increased police and soldier patrols throughout the city, specifically in neighborhoods in Paris with a heavy Jewish population. Other cities across the globe, including New York City, are also on heightened alert. The NYPD will not allow solo foot patrols. They're asking all officers to be extra vigilant.
The Republican-controlled Senate voted to approve construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. The House approved that bill last week. The number of votes that it passes by is key. It passed the Senate 63-32. It received the number needed to advance the bill, but did not receive the 67 it needs to override a presidential veto. The measure now does head to President Obama's desk, and he has promised to veto the bill.
The Supreme Court has decided it will not hear a gay marriage case from Louisiana. That decision comes as the court mulls whether to hear a challenge to Tennessee's gay marriage ban. Gay and lesbian couples filed a plea with the Supreme Court to strike down Louisiana's ban on same-sex marriage. The Supreme Court denied that plea, which means the challenge must first go to a federal appeals court. Meanwhile, couples in Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, and Tennessee are waiting to see if the High Court will debate their case. A decision from the justices is expected this week. In November, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the 4 states' marriage bans. It created a split among appellate courts that only the Supreme Court can settle. And because of that, most experts believe the highest court in the country will hear a gay marriage case during this term.
A trip to Memphis for a couple of Elvis fans has turned into a nightmare after someone stole their dog.
I don't think I've ever scolded her for anything. I just can't believe people can treat animals like that.
Security cameras caught a person taking the Travis family's Yorkshire Terrier named Dixie from their truck parked outside a Memphis restaurant. The couple traveled from Canada down for the first time to celebrate Elvis's 80th birthday.
I don't care about the truck. Just bring my dog back, please.
Instead of checking out Graceland, the couple has made several trips to the police department to try to find their dog, but so far no luck. The family's offering a reward for anyone that returns Dixie.
What started as a small water main break quickly turned into a gushing geyser at an Oklahoma gas station. Check out this video. Water broke through the pavement, shot 30 feet into the air. It was enough force to bring down the awning covering the gas pumps. Fortunately, no one was hurt, though. Tulsa city officials are blaming weather for that water main break.
And we move to the forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Todd Howe. Todd, we made it through the coolest stretch, really, of the last few weeks, and we'll see a warm-up.
Yeah, we kind of dodged one. If